Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Peace, love, and light. Welcome to another episode of Tough Talk Tuesday. This is your host, Brother Blue, soon to be joined by my guest for the evening, a co host for this show, our brother, Ken Brisbon. All right? So make yourselves comfortable. I'm going to get this chat room together. Feel me? And give y'all a moment. Let you do your thing so we can do the roll call, the shout outs. I know that y'all love that. So let's keep tradition. Yes, indeed. I had a lot going on. Um, had a very busy weekend leading up to an event-packed week, but I still made back to another episode of Tough Talk Tuesday. This is your host, Brother Blue Pill. All right, very soon to be joined by my co-host, my guest for the evening, Brother Ken. Let me know if the audio is coming through, it's clear and everything. Chill. Welcome back. Welcome back. Get this camera working. All right. I now see my co-host for the evening. All right, it's clear. Let me turn on the camera and bring in our brother, Ken Billions. Peace.
Yo, yo, what's good, bro?
Peace to the God. How you?
Man, happy anniversary, bro.
Yes, indeed. I ain't even get into that bag with the people and tell them that this is officially our 1 year show. You know,
Yeah,
last year on air,
yeah,
we'll we will make the 1 year mark.
yeah. Good stuff, man. Happy anniversary, bro. It's a good thing right there.
It's a wonderful thing. I just got to get this camera going.
Okay.
I don't know on my visuals or not. Hey, what's good with you though, man?
Oh man. Uh I'm on the level, bro. I ain't high, I ain't low, man. I'm on the level.
It's funny you talk about that. You know, on my way back this evening to set up for the show, I was coming from the office. We was having heavy discussions today about the whole cannabis industry. You know, and the fact that put an article up earlier saying that they're saying that the weed on the street is 44% cheaper than it would have cost in the dispensaries right now. And what I'm explaining to people is that I'm getting a lot of phone calls from parents who are not acting the same. And the last thing that they can trace is this weed they smoking. That seems to be the common denominator in a lot of these narratives and these stories that I'm hearing. So, you know, that kind of comes down to the whole aspect that people don't necessarily know what they're smoking. You know, everything is not, all weed is not the same. And learning more and more about the science of it, the real medical value of it, all weed has a specific purpose, you know, and it's not being properly diagnosed or dispensed in the street as medicine. Niggas is bagging that shit up and selling it for a sale based on how it smell, what it look like. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
People don't know the first half about what the actual effects of the medicine is. Yet you will always hear people saying, "Oh, I'm medicating."
Hmm.
It's like, how you medicating if you don't necessarily know what the issue is that needs the attention, because there's specific strains for that. And if you allow it to work as the medicine that it is, then you would actually get the therapy, and you know you would get the medication, you would get the healing, you would get everything that's necessary and needed for you to get away or walk away from the experience saying, "Yo, I had a positive experience with that plant. Now I can advocate, because if somebody else is going through something similar, I can be that word of mouth advocate, because that's how news travels best."
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the only thing that you often hear people discussing is if the shit put them on their ass or not. And
Hmm.
for everybody, that's not the I don't think with everyone that's the desired effect. You know what I'm saying? Especially if people understood the medicinal value of it, where they like, "Yo, I got a buzz. I felt somewhat enlightened and shit, but I also, dealt with the knee pain that I was having."
Hmm.
So I'm just, brainstorming, getting totally new ideas for ways to bring this information to the market.
Well, a lot of you ever been in the spot and I remember back in the day, shit used to come in bales, right? And the weed used to get sprayed down. So I remember homies putting spraying like peach schnapps on the weed, right? Used to spray it, especially when it used to come from Arizona and get shipped to the East Coast. So you wanted to maintain a smell. So you sprayed it down with like peach schnapps or something else. I'm saying that because the weed on the street, bro, people be straight comatose, bro. Like in a zombie state. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of that information that Wesley Muhammad was talking about, I think it's a lot of truth in that. Just how I be seeing people, they be done, bro. And I'm skeptical of any trends, man, any fads. Not from the business side. If you're in the business of it, yeah, it's a supply and demand. But as a user of it, I don't really think it's first of all, I don't think it's wise to smoke weed without no seeds in it. You know what I mean? So that says a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's cooking up. You cooking this shit up in the laboratory. It's Frankenstein. So sativa, indica. All right, this weed does this. This weed does this. It's targeted. You know what I mean? And it's everywhere. Everybody got it. And I remember you couldn't get no granddaddy purple on the East Coast back in the day. Now everybody got it. And if everybody got it, there's something to it. There's something with that. You know what I'm saying? Remember, if everybody got it, it don't mean anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The quality is shit, it's trash. And again, when I be seeing people, Chief, you pull up in the barbershops, you pull up on the block, yo, people going back to back, and they stuck the whole day, like zombie mode, bro. Straight
Well,
comatose.
we know. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't even gonna front. I hit the L a few times. I'll be like, yo, this shit is way too strong. You know what I mean?
I mean,
And
especially if you want to get active in the daytime, like you waking up smoking herb like that, and you want to be, you know what I'm saying? You want to hustle and motivate. That shit is gonna put a motherfucking damper in your speed. When you need to kick into hyperspeed, it's not gonna be there. You need to be one step ahead of the game.
yo, niggas be
Like
gone, bro.
2 steps behind the fucking lanes, like niggas be stuck. You know what I mean?
Look, I know,
And
I know, people got anxiety, and I know, Yo, it's a lot of mental illness, bro. Not just mental
No,
illness,
I mean,
depression.
yeah, I was going to get straight to that. And the fact that we see this uptick in mental illness, and people are not in control of the faculties of their minds, this is a real issue. And it's one that I've physically seen with my eyes in all age group, but in particular, older melanated men. But now, when these testimonials are coming out, the women are talking about their children as well. Yo, my son is 13 and he's skitched out. My son is 15, 17, 20, 21. And they flipping on them. They not only wigging out, they're wigging out on their moms, on their wizards. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of getting real aggressive and acting out. And I spoke about this earlier on my live. The fact that the majority of these children that are 13, 15, and 17 now were born in the 2000s. These are the post 9/11 children. So they're formatted different. They're somewhat indigos. They're slightly touched. You know what I'm saying? And the the initiation, the rites of passage was not set up for them. So a lot of them are in their spirit feeling somewhat incomplete, and they're going through a force transformation. They're going through a force, you know, through psychosis. A change. Pushing and ushering them in, but some of them don't make it back. Some of them end up in the institutions, and they don't make it back the same. And that's what you see in New York. Ward's Island is a testament to that. It's an overrun facility with mental patients, majority of which are melanated people, and these are the people that walk around New York talking to themselves all day with no Bluetooth. You know, but we're seeing it more. The children are going through things, so this is something to be mindful of. Just like KT was talking about, one of the main things that they're not speaking about in the Wuhan situation with this corona outbreak is the proximity to 5G, to that area, to that region. When they flip the switch, what I'm saying, you're seeing organisms, what I'm saying, in biospheres react in ways in which people are not really mindful of, and they're not looking at it for what it is. You know, thousands of fucking birds falling out the air. Now people's immunity being susceptible to a degree where, yeah, maybe the common cold is hitting different this time around. You feel me? You don't know what it is. We just know that that shit is spreading. You feel me? And they're not getting out the right level of information about that. And, while people are concerned with standing rooms up perpendicular, as dope as that might be as a physics experiment, you know what I mean? And while niggas is on Gail's hair hat, and they're on Gail's hair hat, you know what I'm saying? A hair hoodie, yeah, there should be equal level of concern or preparation, or just, running through the drill. Like, man, there's some stupid shit like that happen over here. I ain't fucking worried about that because I got 60 cases of water in the basement. I got it loaded, motherfucking, things, and you know what I mean. I got enough canned food to last me 90 days. So shit, what would I be concerned about? I got my, like, these are not the conversations that are taking place. And the universe always has an opportunity to, they say that the world is a classroom. Okay, so that's a motherfucking blackboard too. There's a lesson being shown and taught over there. They've quarantined the amount of people that exceed the number of population in these United States of America. And they did that shit. You know what I'm saying?
um, yo, from when you travel coast to coast, you're gonna have to quarantine some of these niggas too. Cause the loud is everywhere, bro. And people go back to back blunts with the shit.
Yeah.
And no way in hell that you're productive. Yo, I took a cross country trip last year. Every now and then I'll drive back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast. So I was driving through Texas. Texas, a big state. So I was looking at the billboard. It was 1.4 million trucking jobs that was unattended.
What?
You hear what I said?
1.4 million trucking jobs unattended?
Bro, I went from corner to corner, like up through Amarillo, Texas, I think it was. And it was refinery jobs and trucking jobs. So it's a lot of people missing from the market. Um, just opting out of participating in the market. And video game culture, there's weed that go with that too. Stoner culture, there's a whole thing. When you look at Oregon is a hub for people that's runaways, children of the nights, street kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you go through the Bay Area, it's straight tent cities.
Tent cities, yeah.
Right? You know about Skid Row, but the Bay Area got tent cities, yo.
Yeah.
These people, a lot of these people haven't been diagnosed as mentally ill. They have just opted out of participating in the market, but they got loud though, right? And I be pulling up to barbershops, bro, and niggas be outside going back to back with the blunts.
Yeah, chain huffing.
Yo, and it looks, you know how Sing Song in Mortal Kombat used to suck the soul out of a nigga?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
I I need to experience shit so I can know what it does, right? I know when I hit the shit, I'll be like, yo, this is way too strong. You feel me? Like, I'm like, okay, high for 7 hours. This is like an ecstasy pill. I'm like, when is this shit gonna come down? And then I notice, yo, it's crazy because when you look at the hood, every dude got a gut.
Mm-hmm.
Stomach on men is so ill. And I'm like, yo, what's causing that too? It's a lot of late night snacking, late night food, late night pizzas. You got the munchies because when you smoke that shit, bro, it's like The Walking Dead where you have the urge. You cannot stop your hunger. You have to eat something.
Bro, son had brought up to me today. He was like, yo, you smoke some of that shit we got the other day? And I thought about it. And I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, that's the Monster Mash. He was like, son, I was eating up the whole refrigerator. And then I thought about it.
Yeah.
So I ran through this bowl of penne and veggie chili. and then went straight to the motherfucking sweet potato CBD infused. I was just running through shit and I still had room. I had unhuman hunger, son.
Yeah. Yo, niggas.
Like you just came out the mortuary and you want to make up for lost time? Yeah, like that.
Yo, I be
you
fucking.
You got a stomach. You trying to
up, bro.
Like you a stuffed turkey? Yeah, that shit.
Fam, I fuck all my son's fruit snacks up. Like you can't control it, right? It's insatiable.
Yeah, it's
insatiable. It feels like your stomach don't have a bottom to it. You just keep going and keep consuming. And when you look at men in particular, when you look at men's health, and it was not like this before. Every nigga got a belly, even skinny dudes, skinny bellies. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it's crazy. Like every nigga got a belly. And I don't know if Wesley Muhammad said this, but it seems like it's activating estrogen in men. I see a lot of balding going on at 20-something-year-old cats. You know what I mean? But it just be the man boobs too.
Yeah, they got breasts too.
Yeah, bro. But yo, no bullshit. Like my son be having fire snacks, fruit roll-ups, graham crackers. You know what I'm saying? I be eating shit that don't mix. Like I eat fruit snacks, then a bowl of cereal. You know what I'm saying? It don't even go together. Yo. Then take a shot of Patron. Like that shit is hella crazy.
Hella crazy. So.
You know what I mean? But that's what it do. And that loud.
Yeah. It be that mix. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that be them chemicals, man. That's that shit. I'm learning the science of this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really wanted to bake a nigga, because you gotta understand that now they got access to the research. They just got out with the research, so they know because they in the field, right? And they got the research, so they know how to twist and tweak and throw shit out before niggas like us get in it and look at the science and be like, oh nah, they turned this shit all the way up because they want to turn this receptor down And the only way to really have balanced this is you're supposed to cut and lace it with some CBG or CBD, right? Because there's something called an entourage effect, where the best way to experience the plant is to experience all of it. Anytime that you isolate anything, that's like taking the carrageen out of the sea moss and them saying, oh, that shit is acidic. You're not supposed to separate it from the body, right? My leg is not going to do nothing for you, right? Even if you bought me at an auction, it's just going to stand there, right? But you need the whole body to work. So it's the same concept. You know, these niggas are smoking Babbage, but all of this shit is Babbage if it's not experienced as the totality. So to me, there's a whole new market burgeoning. There's a whole new science. There's a whole new reality in my eyes. You know, I get more excited than I am downtrodden about what I see because I know once I understand why this shit is beating down on the people, I get it. And it's just like you said, everybody's just not gonna make it, bro. And it's unfortunate. But sometimes, you know, I mean, we are witnessing die-offs, you know. There's a lot of things in our reality that have died off in our lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to put something down to pick something up. And
Hey, it's my saying right there. Yeah. You
said,
know,
you know, by a brother named Ken BRISBON. So
people got to go for people that got to come in. I mean, you know what I
you know,
mean?
that's what this full moon was about in Leo that we just experienced. You know what I'm saying? And we had a class on Sunday where, you know, a friend of mine did the grand opening for his CBD store in the West End, brother that's in our network, a day after we did a cannabis summit in the city of Atlanta during snow, and it was packed out in there by 9 a.m. Shout out to the city of Atlanta for responding and showing up to that call because that was a powerful event. We brought major experts out. You know what I'm saying? We had the first melanated woman in the world to have a social equity dispensary in Oakland in the Bay. She just talked about politics and what it took for her to fight for that, you know, and you know, just mad different verticals and building with mad people that are experts in their field in their lane. There's many verticals in this industry, and getting the opportunity to share this information with people that look like us who had real interest. You know, that was some dope shit. You know, especially since we came from an event 2 to 3 weeks ago. They was charging $30,000 for this information, you know, and that's not even putting the people in the game. That's just giving them the info and exposing them to the experts. And, you know, while I do see the value and, you know, all information comes with a value and all of it should be uh, awarded that particular value for what it's worth, you know, I still have the opportunity to see some good things manifest, take place.
shit from a business for the market, sell. You know what I mean? From a consumer standpoint, you know what I mean? That's not my particular drug of choice. But sell though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the market. You know what I mean? So I mean, it seems as though the shit that lays niggas out, that's what people want. You know, it's a free market. You know what I'm saying? And a man or woman got a right to buy whatever they want to buy. You know what I mean? So if you can sell it, sell it. People want it. People want to be laid out. People want to be zombies. That's their birthright. You know what I mean? Slang that shit. Uh, but as for me and my house, we're gonna praise the Lord though.
I know that's right.
Yeah, it's a year. Happy Tough Talk
Yeah,
anniversary, my G.
happy quarter. You know what I'm saying? We have completed our first quarter. You know, I think 4 solid years will probably be our aim and our goal that will complete a whole. This is our first quarter piece. You know what I'm saying? We got 25 in the clip. This is an anthology at this point. You know what I'm saying? We could write up a 800-page book with the transcript. You know, we got balls, we got gems, and you know, as I travel the country, you know, people be like, "Yo, brother Ken, yada yada yada." Like, you know, your information and your insight, and philosophy, and outlook is something that initially, if it doesn't register with people, after they get a chance and an experience, you know what I'm saying, to be around niggas long enough, they get it.
You know what, bro? I think we accomplished what it is that we wanted to do of bringing our private conversations for the most part to
Yeah,
the public and offering an alternative perspective of, you know, there's tiers in the so-called conscious community. Everybody's not the same, and I felt like it was very one-sided in terms of the consciousness. It didn't talk to every single person in the conscious community. You got people in the conscious community that want to get money. You got people in the conscious community that's with the shit. You
right.
got people in the conscious community that's down with the information, but they like to go on cruises and like to travel the world and like to turn up. You know what I mean? And I felt like it was you for a long time. The conscious community was dealing with the religious side of the conscious community, a very judgmental and linear thinking side. You know
Mm.
what I mean? So I think we did what we wanted to do, just offer an alternative perspective and let people know that, yo, you're not alone in your thinking. Like you could come over this side, but this side got tears too. And, you know, for a long time, it's just been very one sided. And for years, the conscious community, in my opinion, always made it about the they, the hidden hand, the Monsanto, the they people. It's I call that the prodigy raps. You know how when prodigy rap, he always talking to this mystery person. Like, who are you fucking up in these raps, my nigga? You know, I'll throw a TV at you. He said he'll throw a TV at a nigga. Who are you talking to? Right? The conscious community dealt with that mysterious wrestler figure,
Oh, yeah. The
right?
DJ Khaled.
Yeah, yeah,
The win. The day
yeah. Who is the they, right? And it was missing a side of personal development, talking directly to the person and activating something that allows someone to scale. Like you could do something right now with your life, tomorrow morning with your life. See, there's no real empowerment in the they and the mystery person. You know what I mean? So I think we did what we wanted to do, bro.
We made it personal because personal, requires a level of responsibility. We held the mirror up and allowed you to look at yourself, and then the process, you allowed us to see ourselves because we had an opportunity to dialogue and be real. This is how me and him talk, and I had to kill an aspect of myself, perception wise. The people is like, oh, people in consciousness don't talk like that, or allow for that level of talk, right, to exist, because people are expecting me to be counter to your opinion or counter to your perspective. And I'm like, why he just can't have his air and I have my air, and there's no need to counter them at all. Like they can both exist.
Right.
They never saw that.
Because we don't, that's the dope thing, because we don't agree on shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that, and that's another thing of a healthy.
They never got an opportunity to see what it looks like.
Right, exactly. Right, yeah, you know what I mean.
And now
Healthy.
this is archived. This is in the cloud. This is part of the collective dialogue in the Akashic record. So we know it has been done. An example has been set. Me and my brother are from two different spectrums of thought, but we found out how to meet in the center.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. You know what I mean? So a year, you know what I mean? We got a year in, you know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? I mean, definitely came, saw, conquered, pause. And you know, we did exactly what we wanted to do because this be the builds behind the scenes. And so I hope people see now that there's an audience for everything. If you thinking that you got a product or an ideal or a concept that no one's gonna get, if it's really 8 billion people in the world, trust me, it's 100,000 people that agree with you. It's a million people that agree with you. You just got to put it out there. You know what I'm saying? And let it come to you and polish it and make it fire. And the people are gonna come to you, whatever it is. From the obscure to the couture. It doesn't matter. There's a lane for it. You know what I'm saying?
From the obscure to the couture, there's a lane for it. It's a ball.
That was hard.
Indeed. Yeah, so we were able to unlock the box of consciousness to allow uh, free flowing thought, to escape and exist. And it's not just one dimensional, it's not a religiosity. You know what I'm saying? Like there's aspects and elements to this as well, you know, and it connected with a good audience. A good amount of people can relate, because they feel in their own personal space they don't qualify based on the metrics, whatever those perceived metrics are. You feel me?
For
Oh, I don't
sure.
have, locks in my hair, and I don't rock a honk, and but as I travel the world, I bump into people who have connected and received the message that don't fit in that particular box. You know what I'm saying? It's a message that permeates, and anybody with blood is able to receive it. You dig what I'm saying? Like even the trees can dig it. So
Hey, Blue. Hey, shit. Tough Talk tapped in. Yo, the conscious community got some holes in it, like some real life holes, and we unlocked that and was like, baby girl, you, it's all right. It's all good. It's a lane for you. You know what I mean? So for a long time, they had to duck and dodge, and niggas wanted them to wrap their hair. You know what I mean? We came along and be like, yo, it's all good, yo. You know what I'm saying? Pop the pussy. It's fire. It's all good. And when you get out of the religious side of it and get into the practical, I'm practical. I'm an earth nigga. You know what I mean? So I talked about the practical thing.
right, I
And
mean,
again, this lets people know whether that's in your
there's
business,
a like
invention, it's
a silver
man,
lining in all things.
huh?
It's a silver lining in all things
For sure.
because man plans, but he said God plans best. You know, and there's always something. There's a level of contribution. There's an urge and there's a demi-urge at all times.
For sure.
You know,
Yeah, for sure. So happy year anniversary, man, and saying we grow from here, and and then continue to put out, what I mean, fire product, and have tough conversations. You know what I mean? Make people squirm, and it don't matter what they say in the chat. It'll catch on later. Like, oh shit, them niggas was tough. That's what this is. Like, we make them squirm. We say tough shit, objective things, and then guess what? 6, 7 months down the line, everybody kind of following that line. You know what I'm
so
saying? Everybody kind of following that line. So it's a
let me ask you, what was your observation this past week on the affairs that some of them culminated and some storylines connected, and then the shit ended up with stand-up rooms today. So hey,
with what in particular?
Gail King situation.
Oh man, it was trash. I did a video on Facebook about it, but first off, it was out of pocket. It was out of pocket. But that was a sound bite from a whole interview. But still, it was out of pocket. However, Gail is a journalist though, and Ed Gordon on 60 Minutes asked tough questions. And when you live a public life, like I'm not super famous. I got a little buzz. Some people know me, some people don't. Whatever I do though, whatever I say, if I have a blunder, if I don't have my brightest moment, it's in the public and it's up for public consumption.
Right.
So people cover the story, something I might have said. I got shit I said back in the day that I don't feel the same way. So one day someone's gonna pull that and say, you know what? What about this? And I might be living, I might be dying, but that's the price you pay for being a public figure, right? There's perks that come with being a public figure. A shorty might want to give me some bottom, right? Just off the rip. Someone might want to get me on their show and I might profit off that. There's another side to that where your privacy gets invaded. Okay. So Kobe Bryant was a public person, and unfortunately, his highs and lows were recorded in the public. So Gail didn't actually talk about anything that was off limits, technically, right? She didn't reveal any secrets. Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it, but I'm not a journalist either. That's one. So I wouldn't have done it. And however, for people backlash about it, it's very out of pocket though, because that's the easiest thing for us to do. That's always our go-to though.
Yeah.
Our go-to is never understanding. Our go-to is never correction. And what I have to ask is like, what is the standard? Because if Gail is wrong, according to what? See, the United States government has laws that are on the books, a Bill of Rights, bylaws, constitutions. For the Black collective, there is no manuscript. So when you're checking somebody, it's so confusing because you got niggas that sold crack that are checking Gail. you got girls that
a nigga who made bitches ain't shit, but hoes are tricks. Nigga done, and you know, maybe not directly, but that energy may have contributed to the offsetting, you know, of the tipping of some scales. So it's very somewhat hypocritical to see certain people come at her the way that they coming at her. When, like you said, she is exercising her role as a journalist to ask a question that's on the mind of the viewership that she represents, you know what I'm saying, for that particular broadcast. This is something that, quote unquote, you know, white America, they might have that conversation on their voice because there's a segment of society that did have a backlash at the time of our brother's untimely demise. So, you know, like she said, they threw her pass and she caught it and she ran with the ball, you know. Now she regretting the fact she didn't make a touchdown.
again, what is the Black manuscript? What so for everybody to say get on code, what's the manuscript? So when you swear into the military or the police, you're swearing into documents, whether you putting your hand on the Bible, whether you pledge an allegiance to the Constitution, state or federal. There is a law of the land that is tying you together. It's tying to there's a law that ties the Coast Guard, the Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force together with the domestic police. They are tied together and bound together by particular oaths of law. What is the Black manuscript that you're actually checking somebody on? It's like the streets. When the streets say, oh, that's not a real nigga, and what a real nigga. What's the real nigga handbook? So if a person is not on code, you could go to section 4 on page 18. Right? We just making this shit up as we go, and it's very subjective, right?
But right, that category is held hostage by the fact that you had to drop one in order to be a real nigga, and more than likely, the one that you dropped looked like you. But these are the people, right? Like I said, castigating her for doing something that she just might have considered, shit, I'm doing my job. I ain't even know. I'm on a different stratosphere. Up here, we just do what we told. But we have to understand that there's people in the world like that.
Also, again, the reaction, the name call, that's our go-to, right? The collective maturity of the Black collective always goes to that space. And I remember you had I heard A.A. Rashid say this when you guys was doing Know the Ledge Radio. And he was like, Black Americans don't have a collective reading history over 150 years.
Yes, right.
Now, why is that key? Because reading does something to the imagination. So if Black people couldn't express themselves through reading, the only way they could express themselves was through emotions. So all of Black collective responses is never reason, it's never logic. It's always an emotional response to everything. It goes 0 to 100, whether somebody counts the change wrong at the supermarket, if somebody gets the order wrong at Chick-fil-A, whatever happens, it always goes 0 to the 100. Niggas can't control themselves. Why? Because you couldn't read for a long time. And even to this day, the Black collective is not reading anything that the collective, not individuals, that deal with emotional intelligence. because Gail could have been checked like anybody, but the way she was checked was totally out of line. And then people don't see a problem with that. Now, my question is, where do you go from there? Because this is a 70-year-old Black woman. So where do you go from there? And what is Black excellence? And when does Black excellence activate? Is Black excellence only when people sing songs? Is Black excellence only when people play basketball? Or does Black excellence deal with justice as well? What does that look like? Because this woman did not get a fair trial in terms of the court of public opinion. She can be wrong like everybody, but it's like this, boo. In your hood, you grew up with old crackheads. You a straight savage if you go kick them in the ass. So what if they cop dope? That's their choice. You still respect them. In the hood, there's old ladies that will call the fucking police on you. So you know you don't go in front of her house with that bullshit. You still respect that lady. So when things happen like this in pop culture, pay attention to it, because where do you go from here? So because Gail is not woke enough, basically, if she's walking down the street, you telling me niggas will put hands on her? Because she's not woke enough. And you know this, bro, everyone that's on the liberal left side of things, this is how they handle everything.
What you mean by that?
I told you one show back that we're going into a totalitarian form of government that's going to be ran by the liberal left. And they want to control what people think.
Right.
They want to police your words, right? It started with pronouns being politically correct, right? Have to address a trans as Mr., even if it's a she, whatever, right?
Yeah.
People that are very democratic, they're very immature for the most part. For the most part, they respond the same way. And when you look in their background, it's the same things that are at play. Single parent household, welfare. Christian. Single parent household, welfare, Christian.
That's what the statistics say.
That's what the eye test say. That's what eye test. And then when you dig in the background, no father in the home, right? Mother on welfare. Same behavior though. Same behavior. From a dude in Tampa to a dude in Oakland. Same behavior. Look how everybody acted towards Gail. Now, just from your POV, do you think y'all had 2-parent households? Because at least 2-parent households give you a balance of your emotions and how you respond to things.
But even now, remember what we read in the pathology, right? Moynihan, he said if you expose them long enough, they're going to get pulled into that activity as well, because now it just becomes culture. So because these things are taking place in these public forums, they turn that shit to the yard real quick. Daggers come out, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, and they do on the dance floor, and there's blood on the dance floor. So everybody kind of participates. It's almost like how the purge gets set off. There's a daily purge. People wake up and they look and it's on my timeline today, who we canceling? Who are we purging from these platforms?
So we went from, it's interesting, James Baldwin was a gay man. You would have never knew that, right? So you go from the days of James Baldwin, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Paul Robeson, to civil discourse, right? These people fundamentally disagreed with each other. But do you think those people would have ever came at a 70-year-old Black woman like that?
There would have been more of an intellectual scolding,
Totally.
These days and time, because of the alpha epsilon energy that runs culture, that's not, negotiation. That's a male trait. You know what I'm saying? Men are the diplomats. They negotiate. You know what I'm saying? Women go straight to warfare. So because this particular society is mainly run off of that energy, these are the responses that you're seeing. You know what I'm saying? That scale is slightly tipped for a lot of biological, scientific, sociological reasons, some of which you mentioned, this evening. So we understand it for what it is. I mean, at least I do. I see it for what it is. I get it. You know, I'm just like, how can we galvanize this particular energy while it exists? My commentary more so was steering people towards, all right, put the same energy on a counterbalance towards alternative media, because I don't look at fucking CBS. Why would I still be going to these places for my news anyway? I came across this on my timeline, but I wouldn't have went looking for it. So what do you expect from these journalists after they've shown you 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times? You still looking for redemption from them? You still looking for the story that you need in order to program yourself towards success daily? You need to curate your news, and you should be supporting alternative media. If these people in mainstream media that you say, y'all the ones that we depend on, the gun for us, if you see that they ain't motherfucking pulling their pistols, then you're supposed to weaponize and arm somebody else with your attention and your motherfucking support, so these people can stand up and be there and tell your story and make sure that the information gets to you in a timely fashion, so you don't always be reactionary at the tail end. You know, I mean, why the same energy don't go towards motherfucking Vanessa? She's the mother who lost a wife and a child, and there's no campaigns to put a counterbalance of love on her. You know,
You know what I don't like? I don't like this whataboutism. Um, it's like the shit in school when the teacher tell you to sit down and you be like, well, he's standing up too, right? We do whataboutism. I be like, do y'all the shit that y'all want to do of with white people is crazy. Why are y'all comparing? Why do y'all be like, well, Harvey Weinstein raped. Y'all ain't saying nothing to him. Yo, it's rich white men out here. I want to be compared to the rich whites. Why are we jumping over there? Why you want deal with that right there? Why does that matter to you? Say something to him. That's one thing. Number two, it seemed like the black community is only black men. If it's a black man, it's a big issue. If it's a black woman, it's a non-issue. What I mean is, a gang of black men jumped on a black woman. That was not a problem. So, is it a problem if Gail and Gail and Oprah coming at black men, and then a group of black men just came at Gail, right? But it's not a problem because the black community only needs black men. It doesn't mean everyone else. It just means black men. Prison reform. When we talk of school to prison pipeline, black men. There's no black women in the picture. It's just black men. It's all black male issues every single time. If Kobe Bryant was Cheryl Swoops, it would not been an issue. If Kobe Bryant was Cynthia Cooper, it would have not been an issue. If Kobe Bryant was Tina Thompson, it's not an issue. Number one, black males have a victim thing. And number two, black women cannot get off of the black male phallic. This is tough talk. Turn the shit up. That's 100. Even the shit out. It's other people in the black community, like black children, right? So can we all agree that black children are undereducated and malnutrition, but the black males could come together to roast Gayle King? Interesting.
Right. And they could have solved child malnutrition with that same energy. That's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
That energy, that body, that corpus that shows up for the fucking tar and feathering, that's a powerful unit if it can be redirected towards solving problems, like immediately with the same fervor. Shit could be literally done overnight, because these people, they're a mob.
How many black women is missing again?
My nigga, huh?
How many black women is missing again? And the men that came at Gayle have actual financial resources to start security firms, investigative firms, all that. But they could come together on one accord in unison to drag in solidarity basketball players, athletes, We're talking about when you put this shit together, we're talking about net worths combined of billions of dollars. And they come together to drag and go in on a 70-year-old black woman when it's national news that black girls ages from 13 to 35 are missing. And the reason why there is no resources to launch these investigations, because the feds are going to go after bigger targets, and domestic police forces don't have the capital to extend their tentacles. But these niggas do. But you know why it's an issue? It's a non-issue? Because it's black women. What I'm a simp for that? I'm a simp. Is it black excellence or not? It's only an issue. Shit is only a problem because it's a black man. That's the only person that exists in the black community. The black man, not children. Because if children existed, we wouldn't. If children about shit that we wouldn't do what we do. So we know the babies don't matter.
We was pouring on to them, they'd be straight. Because we got the resources, we have the access, we have the ingenuity even to engage and entertain them in ways in which, build them out of facility. How hard is that? Put art back in an after school community center. You know what I'm saying? Give them instruments. Come in there and just give free classes on how to make beats. You'll engage them. They'll show up. Like, it's mad simple shit that could be done. If we really cared about children, I mean, think about how much we can do for children. Right? Think about it. How many like Big Brother programs that you can start with people that's just, I'm gonna get 4 hours out of the week, split it up in 1 hour segments, you know what I'm saying, and build with a little one who don't got a father. Either take time to shoot ball with him, show him how to free throw, show him how to shoot a jab, you know what I'm saying? Do a pull up. Regular shit. Like, we can do it if we really care. So
people, they don't care. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. And it has nothing about standing in the right, yo. Because again, this is the go-to for every single thing. And let me tell you something. This is the interesting thing about human beings. I'm a critical thinker. Yo, you can't disrespect the dead because the dead don't know they're being disrespected. So change that around. The living have a problem with it, not the dead. All right. So a person like Kobe Bryant can't be tarnished. You know why? 5 championships, left his wife $600 million in capital, $200 billion in investments. Oscar, right? She's part of an NBA fraternity that consists of Jeannie Buss, her brother, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the whole NBA family, Hollywood. How? MVP. Okay. How can you tarnish that name? You can't. It's already in cement. It's the living that have an issue with that, not the dead. How the fuck you? The dead knows they're being disrespected. No, the living. And it's interesting that we want to honor dead people's lives more than those that are living. It's the living that need help. It's right. The living. How the fuck you gonna inspire a dead person? Grow up, yo. It's the living that need the shit. Meanwhile, we walk by living people every single day that need us. But let you say something about somebody dead. How dare you disrespect Malcolm? He ain't hear me. Don't you say nothing about John Henrik Clark. Why? What's he gonna do? It's you that have a problem with it. Feel me? So I'm just saying though, like coming together is not a problem because you see what people come together over. Not a problem. When it's time to be
immature. In the traditional system, you keep them, an aspect of them alive by repeating and saying their name. And of course, people set up enshrinements, and I bear witness that, yes, there's a realm beyond this realm that will make itself known. So we're not separate from that force. But I know what you're talking about. I know what you're saying. But like I said, there's always a silver lining.
Bro, let me tell you something. When
Hmm.
I transition, I don't give a fuck. What I'm not coming back here to holler at nobody that got something slick to say when I die.
Nah, I never.
I'm out of here, man. Fuck out of here.
I mean, I would suggest that you have emotion on the other side, and that's not how that works. You feel me?
Bruh, is bigger and better things after this life. So I'm gonna come so somebody listen to the tough talks when I'm dead and be like,
Yeah.
I don't like Ken, that nigga's a coon.
But
So
think
I'm
right.
finna stop what I'm doing on the afterlife and come back and holler at the nigga.
But think about this. Even as we know about word magic and the fact that we know in law that black means death, and even as we are in Black History Month, this is a celebration of Black dead, people who have made contributions to the collective Black dead history. So, you know, explaining to people the utility in honoring the living and giving them contribution of life force to magnify what it is that they're doing. So in the now, they can become those living legends that ultimately will be history that now the people have an opportunity to be a part of as well. So this is the gift of the present. You know what I'm saying? And for whatever reason, black people fail to seize that opportunity, even as the time that they might be enthralled right now in the story of Malcolm X and they're on Netflix and they boo-hooing and they in their feelings and emotions and telling the world what they think and what they would do and what needs to be done. You feel me? They're giving you and laying out the criteria of what all leadership and people that are perceived leadership and people, who are in that particular spotlight go through in terms of monitoring, in terms of surveillance, in terms of, you know, all of the counterproductive behavior that now gets manipulated between you and whatever said party, you know, and this is a message that I have for, individuals that see themselves in that light. You know what I'm saying? Take this as an example. The feds know who your friends are more than you do, my nigga. Okay? Because all of these open line conversations, hmm,
All I'm saying is it's other people in the black community besides black men. And I find it real hypocritical of people always going to, oh, Hollywood is trying to tarnish the names of black men. But listen to these terms that describe black women: thought, ratchet, bitch. It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. These are the descriptions. Black women's name have been getting tarnished for hella. And
hella.
when Dolores Tucker had something to say about it in the early 90s,
They
nobody
were,
wanted to hear it
they
because they
were,
ain't like the
like,
poem.
yeah. Remember niggas when they attacked Dolores Tucker?
And Calvin Butts.
She said her health went down in a similar manner. They sunk her boat. Niggas, they
So I'm
snapped.
saying though, so even it out. Is it they're trying to tarnish the if you really feel like they're trying to tarnish the names of black men in Hollywood, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Kobe Bryant, that is nothing compared since 1992, 1991. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. And young girls was in stomach and in the womb. They was raised to this shit. That was their identity. Yo, let's keep it a buck since this is tough talk. Yo, when we was running trains back in the day on top of the project roofs, it wasn't because the girls was sexual. They thought that was gonna give them protection.
Mm.
They thought that if they jumped off with us, that you know what, we'll stick up for them in school. Little did they know, yeah, right. We just told other niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And what? And guess and what Jay say? I don't know why they went up to Tompkins.
Dudes is foul just like
They
that.
just like us. Them girls didn't have fathers or uncles, so they was running to any crew that they thought would get protection. And
Fact.
their bargaining chip was their box. And guess what? in their subconscious mind was the soundtrack of the identity. Bitch, hoe, trick, all that. Suck my man off. That's 100. I remember how many girls my homeboys tossed up. And they was doing that because they needed protection. And fucking and getting it on their back was they were getting grandfathered in. So rewind today. Y'all very hypocritical talking about tarnishing the black man. The black woman don't even got no fucking identity. She got to go to a white boy to get called beautiful. Fuck out of here. She could wear her natural hair over there and shit. Yeah, it's tough talk. This is how we started.
We damn sure did.
Straight up. Jeez. So I'm just saying though, is it black excellence for everybody or just black criminals? And I'm a felon.
Look, they give it to, you know, American Gangster got a series they just threw out. Trap Queens.
No, God.
They gave a platform to talk about the criminal exploits and some of the queen pins. And, you know, some of them were cautionary tales and, you know, others were kind of like, you know, it's gonna excite the hood, you know. But I would love to see a series on black businesswomen who kicked in the door doing innovative shit. I know quite a few in this lifetime. So, and we spoke about quite a few, you know, in our quote unquote history right on this show. Brought that to light. So, you know, some of these stories deserve to be told as well to balance it out. But, you know, it just, you know, it continuously perpetuates that level of behavior where we spotlight and glorify those amongst us. You know, it only seems like only the ones who did dirt is the one that got the fuck out and they never even got out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, bro, look, I'm a felon, right? My inmate number is 120000066, right? I got charged for trafficking. I went to jail smart already, right? You know how dumb this is the dumbest feeling ever. Going to jail already smart. Most people go there to find themselves and they need to read books and shit. I already had destruction of black civilization before I went to jail.
Facts.
Right? I felt hella dumb, right? They're looking at me like you don't belong here. And they're right. Why am I saying that? Because that shit don't need to be reformed. You know what needs to be reformed? Education. Education, bro.
And I was about to segue into that. And I said, I don't have a direct segue into it, but whoop, so I'll go there since, you know, you opened that door up. What I was going to say is a lot of emphasis should be on saying, you know what? Maybe the shit that we see right now with these vaccines and everything that they're telling us about our children, maybe that's a blessing in disguise. I'm looking for the silver lining and everything. Because why the fuck are we still sending our children into them schools to learn nothing that's preparing them for this coming market? Everything is being automated. They just put the automated trucks on the road. That's going to body the trucking industry, right? We're switching over to the fourth industrial age. These children don't need to learn the shit that got us fucked up and got our entire, you know, circuitry jammed up with coronavirus to begin with. So it's like maybe that's a blessing in disguise, but the only way that people have to be able to be self-sustained as a community, you know, or a collective in order to say somebody's gonna stay out of school and educate these children while the other parents got to go to work and, you know, get that check and hold things down and make sure that that money circulates. You know, the beauty about the ugliness about what we're about to see is once they close these borders, because they're going to do that, everything is going to be in this next 4 eras of Trump. They're going to build up these American companies within these borders by doing business with one another, something crazy. And they're going to close the borders off and they're going to start going into different places, you know, spreading their empire.
Hmm.
Mexico, I just spoke to a Mexican brother earlier. He said the border towns, he said these shit is off the chain. You understand?
Hmm.
They're going into precincts, he said, shooting up precincts, taking prisoners out, dismembering them alive in front of the police. Like he's like they doing the shit they they either demonic or they just past the point of no return. I'm like, it's a mix of both. They are all adherents to the Lady of Death. And that energy is alive. This is 2012. You dig what I'm saying? So all that shit is popping.
Hey,
So
so
I mean, hold on. I say all that to say that at least I know with this initiative that we're talking about with the hemp, this is your ability to turn any 1 acre patch of land anywhere in this country into your economic boom. You know what I'm saying? We can literally show you how to turn that one patch into 100 racks. And you can start community in pockets where you build, your own situation. You can be out of the way of these people. Everything is going to be able to be delivered, you know, through an automated system. It don't matter where you at in the country no more. As long as you can get what you need to get there, and you got the people that you need around you, and you have the technology and the resources to build out technologically what you know is going to sustain you for what's coming. So you need some food, clothing, and shelter sustainable in your own terms with security and fences, and like you have to maintain your collective because when this shit touches over here, it's gonna spread like fucking wildfire. And because of what we're seeing with China, China is the #1 market globally. They just shut that fucking market down, right? The US won the trade war, right? By proxy. Okay, we're not going to get into how that was done, but by proxy, they have just slowed down a global economy. So the ramifications of this are going to be felt in 4, 5, and 6 month pockets. So people have some decisions that they need to make right now. And, especially dealing with their children in these schools being subjected to these shots. You know what I'm saying? They out here taking numbers. You dig what I'm saying? This is the fourth quarter. Still, we ain't in spring yet. Still in the fourth quarter. And you see how the motherfucking games be ending up. If you see the Super Bowl, fourth quarter is where the fireworks happen. So, what's on the agenda now? The Real ID Act. That's October 1st. They're saying with the Real ID Act, they're going to mandate vaccination even for adults. You know, Rizza Islam was on Black Magic this weekend speaking about that and another act that they're trying to push through with these vaccinations. This is one of the worst flu seasons. It's not because people did not get shots. Those people that are dying from the flu, they got flu shots.
hmm.
Those people that are going to work with the flu and you know what I'm saying, tagging everybody in the office, those people had shots, right? There's some other shit taking place. And then, like I said, the Wuhan province was one of the places where, that aspect, that area of China started entertaining 5G. So this can just be a biological reaction of what commonly may have been the flu has now metamorphed because it's come into contact with a radioactive soup that these people are now sitting in, and everybody's immunity is breaking down. We don't know what the scientific results of 5G contamination lead to because no one did the research yet. So we don't know what we're looking at. You dig what I'm saying? I know though that we can still be proactive and say, look, this will be the perfect time for me to implement my do for self plan, especially with this conversation. When the conversation is in the air about Malcolm, one of the main things that they told you is economic sustainability and viability is a must, especially if you're someone on the forefront with a message. You better have an economic engine behind you, right? Because when they pull the cord, how you going to sustain yourself? You're going to end up going crazy and then lining yourself to get lined up. So economic sustainability, doing for self, that's what Elijah stood for. and they spoke about the fact that he was very effective at what he was doing.
Hmm. Everything you saying is education, and I'm sorry, yo. We got to go ahead and kill the streets. Streets is dead, yo.
Okay, this ain't got nothing to do with the streets.
No, 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 no. Listen to what I'm saying. It does have something to do with the streets because all the resources go prison reform, right? All the shit goes to street shit, right? Not education.
Mm.
Everything goes in trying to fix
Oh yeah,
ratchetness.
yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Not the things that you were talking about. You just was talking about automation. Okay. People have phones in their hand, don't know how to use the phones. That's education. You mentioned farming. Okay. That's what's agriculture,
Right.
right? All that is education. So if the prison reform that Jay-Z and Meek Mill is training the guys to be farmers when they come out, because what's the purpose of the guys coming out and they can't make no money? Where are they gonna get a job? What are they gonna do? Right? So okay, they got a lighter sentence. We already know once you on probation or parole, the possibility of you going back is high.
Right.
What are you gonna do? Right? So you got the money going always to a dysfunctional area. Everything you just said right now is education. Now economics, which is not necessarily business, which is something different, deals with supply, demand, it deals with scarcity, it deals with price, it deals with labor, right? So you need groups, you need a system, right? You need a system, you need something that you can have and mark up, something that nobody has, some type of gem, some type of gold, some type of diamond, some type of commodity. And the price that you said is going to be based on scarcity. Not that it's there's no more of it, but you want to create the illusion that there's no more of it. So people, keep coming to get the shit. But all that what you're saying is education, bro. All that is education, right? How somebody's just not gonna pick up and know how to do a farm, economics, all that is education. Even speaking the language of money and business, how to do a spreadsheet, how to do a ledger, how to do a business plan. As you was with me when we went to Damon Johns, and the dude said, "Yo, a real legit business plan is how much?"
50,000.
Right? So even when we talk about group economics, this shit sounds so weird to me because all we talk about is spending with each other. How the fuck am I gonna make money if you spending with me and I'm spending with you? How am I gonna make money? You give me $12, I give you $10. I ain't make no money. Right? When we talk about the Jewish community, the reason why they make money is because people from the outside come spend money. Chinatown, the reason why they make money is because people from the outside come spend money. So they don't spend theirs, they spend yours. They're not just, first of all, the people that's talking about group economics are not economists. That's just a fucking ideal. But if you say, how does it work? Oh yeah, just we need to spend with each other. I want to make money. So that means, look, I got a business. All right, let me distribute some type of shares amongst people in the community and you'll get kickbacks. People want to make money. We're only still thinking like consumers. Spend with me, I'll spend with you. How the fuck am I making money, bro? I can't overcharge you. You know how much I get it for. But I could overcharge the outsider. He don't know how much I get it for. Right? So I could spend $10 with you, spend $10 with me, but I charge him 25. That's where I'm gonna make my money. Right? So in Brooklyn, the Jewish areas, people from the outside come and spend money with them. Chinatown, people from the outside come spend money with them. That's how they make money. Business is about making money. It's not about skin tone. It's not about fucking gestures. It's about making profits. Right? So when you set up an economic engine, you got to have shit people want. What are the shit people want? Commodities, tampons, batteries, toilet paper, Toilet paper. Everybody needs toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's the point. I mean, everything you're saying is hitting on what I'm talking about because they have a whole hemp toilet paper industry. You know what I'm saying? You can compete with everything that's out there by you having your economic slash manufacturing hub and the fact that, like I said, the trucks come and go everywhere. So you're still doing business with the outside world. But there's a way that your community can invest in what you're doing and everybody benefit and profit, even if they know what it's hitting for, right? Because, like I said, under this plan, every seed represents a coin, you know? So there's
Hmm.
ways to tokenize and monetize everything that's coming out of the ground, and everyone in that community benefits. And the outside world has to come and shop with you because you got the best stuff, you know, in that region, but you also are selling and pushing your stuff out wholesale to different buyers around the world. So I mean, there's a and then I mean, you know, there's a very elaborate, protracted plan about how to create super duper verticals just off of one species, and the species we're talking about is a seed. You know, that's money. So just looking at it different and understanding what the industrial fourth industrial revolution is about the synergy of cybergenetics with biogenetics, right? Telecom and telecommunications, computers with living things like hemp, right? So, you know, it's a very auspicious plan, but I know that it's what we need to do. And when I say we, of course, I mean, you know, the people that directly identify and think like I do and understand this plan to be for what it is. But, you know, 2/22/2020, Hartford, Connecticut, Facts Initiative 2020, we will be in Hartford, Connecticut, laying out some of the specifics to this plan.
Hey, Blue,
Yeah,
you know who the most dangerous people in the black community is?
who's that?
Black celebrities. You know why?
Why?
Because black celebrities don't tell black people how to make money. Now, why is that important?
We don't have that conversation.
Because black America takes their cue from celebrity,
Hmm.
right? So what does Diddy actually say? He tells you if you don't grind, you don't eat. What the fuck does that? What does that mean? Right? I'm
Hmm.
gonna go somewhere with that. They tell you work smarter, not harder. What? People
Maybe,
come to America to work
maybe
hard,
yeah.
right? So when
Right.
they talk, especially people that are making 50, 60 million dollars, they don't give you any blueprint on how to come up because if you come up, then they're not celebrities no more. See, the thing about it, someone like Ray Diallo, you and I talked about him, he runs hedge funds. He does hedge funds. So it doesn't matter if you come up or not, he's still gonna make money,
Right.
right? If you or I or a black collective starts to raise their income up, it's a threat to the black celebrity because they are in their position because of celebrityism. It's not because of system. Okay. It
Right.
doesn't matter how rich you and I get. Warren Buffett is still going to make money because he makes money off system. In the book that you and I was going over, you've seen it, Ray Diallo. That book is about principles on how to run a successful company, is it not?
It is.
Okay. When you listen to a Diddy or a Kevin Hart or any black celebrity, they don't give you any business principles. This
Right.
is why Think and Grow Rich is still popular to this day. And any successful entrepreneur, that's their Bible. Because in Think and Grow Rich is success keys,
Facts.
right? These people are super dangerous because not only do they not tell you how to make money, they also tell you that America sucks.
Hmm.
You know Don Lemon's a millionaire, right?
I would imagine so.
You know he got a spot in Harlem. Uh, Don Lemon's like worth like $10 million. You know that, right?
Hey.
You know Van Jones is rich too, right?
Yeah.
You know Van Jones always be on CNN talking about black people are scared of Trump and he's worried about his children.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Right. You know he's caked the fuck up, right?
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. He's getting a lot of money, right? But that seems to be the common theme of black people in a position. They preach fear to the people. They don't preach what they practice. These people will be straight up married, right? They don't preach that to Black America. Like, hey, you know what? You guys, you should keep your family together. They don't preach that. These people have real estate. They have stocks. They don't preach that. They tell it. They say America's hard for black people, but it can't be too hard because they're eating. I guess they're the outlier.
Yeah, they're the outlier. They did something right.
You right. You know why? Now, why am I saying that? Because everything you was just saying is on point, bro. The problem is tomorrow they're gonna hear their favorite celebrity tell them, you know what? All you gotta do is grind hard. You could get where I'm at, nigga. If that was the case, Big Mama would be rich. She works 3 fucking jobs.
Facts.
If it was just about working hard, every niggas would be fucking rich. If it was just about hard work, you don't grind, bro. Listen to what Diddy says. Yo, you don't grind, you don't eat. Ain't nobody gonna out hustle me. Nigga, what's the principles? I know you know how to clean credit up. I know you know how to keep a ledger on operating expenses. I know you know how to structure a company.
Right.
What's a 941 when it comes to taxes? A 941 is a document that allows you to, like, if you just want to send money to the IRS on the regular, just say like you want to send them $100 a month. Use a form, to my knowledge, called a 941. Right, just to be in good standing.
Right.
Diddy, what is the type of LLC that operates kind of like a sole proprietorship? And is it smarter to do a LLC or a corporation? What are the benefits of being a corporation opposed to a LLC? Don't he know this?
Better. No, you should.
How can we get to do for self, Blue, if the basics, it's like Tim Duncan. That nigga was hella fundamental. Before you start dribbling between the legs and doing all that shit, you got to get the basic fundamentals.
Right.
I'm going to show y'all this. Hold on. You could go to the UPS store. It got these one sheets like this. This, if you just follow it, this will tell you on a just basic level how to put a business plan together. Now, Umar Johnson never showed y'all this. Polite never showed y'all this shit. Why? No shade, no beef. But if y'all got scammed, that's y'all fucking fault. Why would you ever send money to a person that people don't even have companies? How can you sue these motherfuckers? Who you suing? You got scammed. You're getting scammed because of your own naivety, because you need something to believe in, because you want to believe in black so motherfucking bad. So take that L. Don't send nobody no capital talking about they're about to build nothing. Where is the business plan at? A business plan has table of contents. A business plan has an executive summary, yo. What type of business is it? This is super fucking important, yo. Who are your competitors? Is it a general partnership, limited partnership, corporation? What is a business plan? What's the definition of a business plan? A written document fully describing and analyzing a particular business. It provides complete, detailed information about short and long-term business plans. information providing potential investors with complete knowledge of a business. Investors will then be able to understand all of its strengths and weaknesses, enabling them to identify present and future potential. It's not Umar's fault. It's not Polite's fault. That's why I'm not banging on them. I'm banging on y'all. Oh, they got me for it. They ain't do nothing. This is business. What's an asset? What's a blended payment? Break even point. Have you ever watched Shark Tank? You listen to the terms they're using on them shows? So of course, this is why y'all keep getting y'all feelings hurt, because y'all don't want to accept that this is about business. You be in your feelings, talk about my people, my people. It's always about my fucking people. Everybody else is doing business. You want to do civil rights so fucking bad, but you can just do it as a business. You are not peoples unless y'all on a company together, period. So I'm just saying, this right here, you could go get this from UPS. This will give you the beta version of how to start your company. You don't got to go to LegalZoom. You don't got to do none of that shit. You could do it yourself. So if someone's selling you a product, that's one thing. If someone is telling you, I'm about to start a school, and in this school, I'm the principal, the teacher, the janitor, the financier, the investor, this nigga is everything. Yo, I'm gonna do your status correction. Really? What's the company? No shade. Because it's not their job to make you aware of that you're going down the wrong direction. I would take your fucking cash too. It's not even fraud. It's finesse. Hoes get pimped. So this right here, you can go to end. Now the cool thing, when you go to UPS, they have a lot of shit like this. They got biology, they got geology, they got public speaking, whatever you want. We in the information age. But this right here will tell you business term ratio. Have you ever heard of ratio analysis? What is ratio analysis? Calculating financial ratios to determine trends and to compare business performance. Now listen, why you guys need to learn this? You already did the mental network. Congratulations. You already did Joel Room. Congratulations. You already did Francis Crest. You already got that as a base. Cool. There's nothing more you can do with They Came Before Columbus. You know it. You bodied it. Cool. Next step, business. So get you a thing that tells you how to set up your company and your business model.
Facts.
End quote.
Nah, I mean, that's vital information. You know, what's the next step? All this information, it's time for implementation. You know what I'm saying? It's time to finally put this shit into action and see what it's hitting for. You're so smart. You should be making some bread off of that. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna hold y'all long. I did want to bring to the attention of the viewing audience. I've got a webinar on Thursday dealing with the Slow 44 situation. It's called Victory Lap 2020. All right. And I am going to, for one time, you know, get into this particular dialogue on February 13th on the 44th day of the year. I just want to lay out that track, just lay out that whole, explain what the whole sprint to the marathon to the victory lap entails, and have an opportunity to catch some people up on some questions that they've been asking about the Law 44. So we're doing it over at Eventbrite. Drop the link in the chat. The link is in my bio on Instagram, Blue Pillar 44, and you can go to Eventbrite now under Victory Lap 2020, Law 44. Get your tickets, family.
Shout out to Blue Pill giving you content where you hang out at on your phone.
Indeed.
That's a great business model. Where does everybody hang out? On their phone,
Yes, they do.
right? So that's a great business model. If you follow the trend, everything is going to be hands free in 1 second. You see, even Hollywood's changing. It's the streaming wars, right?
Yeah.
So where do people hang out? On the telephone,
Oh, right.
right?
Business is based on attention and retention. Attention and retention. So technically, there's no other better business model than the combination of the phone with platforms like social media, platforms like streaming networks, right? Platforms where you can technically live on your phone. My iPhone tells me how many hours I've spent on social media. I can gauge what sort of life force, which units of life force I'm giving to this entity that we feel doesn't exist. But a lot of shit takes place in that particular realm. We charging it up with a lot of energy, and your phone will hip you to that if you're in denial. Like nigga, you've been on this shit for 16 hours.
Hmm.
You live in that phone, right? You caught up in that box. So, if you can entertain but also educate yourself, then have the ability, you have a handheld mini computer, you can go and do your research. You can start deep diving. You can find out what number you vibrate with once I show you without a shadow of a doubt that this is a cosmic communication, and it has a real time message. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna get into that at 4:44 on Thursday, February 13th. It's a webinar. You can check it out wherever you're at. Even if you don't get in at 4:44, it'll be available for stream. So you can still see it, throughout. I'll probably let it run for about 44 days and then I'm gonna pull it. So it'll be up there.
Dope. And just remember, y'all, when y'all making digital content, look, on the internet, there's no such thing as overexposure.
Right.
Impossible. It's too big, right? Even if you got a platform of 20,000 people, everybody's not going to see your content because of the algorithm.
That's a fact.
So you can spam your timeline and post all day. Everybody's not going to see it. So there's no such thing as overexposure. And it's not crowded, right? It's infinite space.
Right.
Whereas if you're selling on a strip or you're vending at a festival, you might be selling the same product as somebody and y'all in the same vicinity.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do it online, there's no, even if, Blue, this is crazy. Garth Brooks has sold over 150 million albums. Do you know anybody with one?
About one or two people.
You lying.
I know people. Yeah.
Okay, but if you do, two people, right? That's just showing you how big the world is, how everything is something and nothing at the same time.
At the same time. Yeah.
So you can be super large and small simultaneously.
Simultaneously. You could be gigantic and invisible
At the same fucking time.
Yeah. Like motherfuckers wouldn't know who Toby Keith is. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is humongous in their world.
Humongous, bro, real shit. Real shit.
Like, you wouldn't know a K-pop artist,
bro. Reba McEntire is a somebody.
In the millions, right? In the amps.
So also make sure y'all go to kenbillions.com so you can get all the game right to your phone. You know what I mean? Download the shit. I got game for guys, purpose over purses for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? You could go cop the ebook collection or the video collection, or you could cop everything individually. Great deal, right? $5, $7, great deal, right? Right? See, I'm shaking my head. Auto suggestion, right? It's a great deal, right? Okay. Or you could be a member. That's also a great deal. But make sure you go to kenbillions.com. It's a great deal, right? Yeah. So when you're talking to somebody, you want to be qualifying them in sale. You want to Yes, awesome. This is great, isn't it? Right. One of these shows we'll get into sales techniques. I am a master salesman. So one of these days we'll get into sales techniques, negotiation skills, finessing, all that shit. You know what I mean? One of these days, Blue, I want to do a thing for the ladies, for the hoes in the conscious community, to tell them how to get niggas' pockets. Everything for sale.
Everything for sale.
Nah, so you know. But happy year anniversary, my dude. We
Yeah,
did
man.
it. We did it, bro. You know what I mean? We did it.
Dropped the quarter on them. So salute. Job well done. You know, major contribution, major content. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got an anthology set now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, let the next chapter begin.
So look, so don't be surprised when y'all see us sitting next to each other doing the tough talks, and then don't be
Level up.
surprised when you see
Yeah, we
the
got to level up. Let's say
yeah when you see
we capable.
the studio tough talk, and don't be surprised when it's knocking Joe Rogan out the box. Don't be surprised.
Surprise. Right? 'Cause everybody can talk, but everybody
But
can't tough talk.
I like that. Everybody can't
Right?
tough talk.
Yeah, yeah. Merch coming, y'all. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, my nigga, holla at me, bro.
Indeed. Peace, God.